other name. You're strong, you're seen, you're free to dream. Why they see, why they see, why they see? Remember the name. Hey mama, you're more than enough. Hey mama, stand tall, you've given so much. You gave your all, now it's time to shine. You've been in the shadows, now step in the light. Rediscover your voice, take back your name. You're not just a mom, your power, your flame. From tired to thriving, from silence to song. With YDC you belong. Let's start living.
And good afternoon, mamas. Thank you so much for joining us on another Friday Live. It's so good to be here, live and direct. In the last 6 weeks, we've been looking at rediscovering yourself, We've been looking at rediscovering yourself. We're looking at living beyond rediscovery. And the next 6 weeks, we're going to be starting a new series called the Mastery Series. And our first topic for this series is the architect of peace, how to stay whole in a chaotic world. English is not your mate. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't take your time for granted, and I love being here on a Friday. Now let's dive into this. Anyway, before I go on, I just wanted to say that the time has changed for us in the UK. So we're now 1 hour ahead of Nigeria. So it depends on where you're watching from, but I'll always be using the 12 p.m. UK time, which is 1 p.m. in Nigeria, and probably and I don't know what 3 hours ahead for those watching from Saudi, or whatever time it is. So it's the UK time. So we're not on the same time zone anymore. For the next 6 months, that's what it will be. Now let's go into today's topic. Peace is not passive. It's a disciplined structure around your priorities. I'll say that again. Peace is not passive. It's a disciplined structure around your priorities. Thank you once again if you're just joining. And as I've said, I don't take your time for granted. And I would say it again, 3 p.m. in Saudi. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Even though, I know that it's half, your day is almost over at 3 p.m. But thank you so much. Thank you. I don't take that time for granted. Right. So we're going to be looking at the Mastery Series, like I said earlier. We're going to be building from wholeness. We've dealt with, living beyond rediscovery, because in the past few weeks, we have talked about discovering yourself or rediscovering yourself. Now we've talked about moving from the rediscovery, and now we're coming into wholeness, building from a place of wholeness. The first pillar we're going to be dealing with is the architecture of peace, because peace is not what happens when everything finally slows down. Peace is what you design. So people think that, peace is when there's no war, there's no problem, there's nothing happening, your life is all settled, you have all the money you need, you have everything sorted. That's not really peace. Peace is something you have to deliberately design around your days, around your life, so that you can stay steady when it doesn't. Life is full of up and downs. We all know that, right? Because life is like a roller coaster. Some days are good, some days are not so good. Some days your routine goes as planned, your kids obey you all day, you don't need to yell at them, you don't need to push them, they're just all nice and sweet, little angels. And then some days you're like, oh God, this house is chaotic, what am I going to do? What am I going, my schedule is chaotic, something comes up, and a hospital appointment, just one thing or the other comes up. So peace is something that you design so that when life gets unsteady, when life gets chaotic, you will still find that stability that you need. So I want you today to stop seeing peace as a feeling you chase. It's not a feeling that you chase, and start seeing it as a structure that you build. You will need to start building peace as a structure. You will need to start building peace as a structure, not something that you're not chasing feelings. So remember when I always talked about emotions and feelings are good, they are valid, but they are very bad detectors. They're very bad. They don't really help you to build anything with structure, with steadiness, especially if you're trying to build routines. Let's take the gym. The gym is my favorite example. There are days you will wake up and your whole body is sore, your whole body is aching. Your feelings will say, oh, let's just sit down, as just one day. And then one day spirals to many days. So feelings are not what we should depend on. Instead, we need to build structures, actual structures that help us to build the peace that we need in our lives. So let's go on. Peace is not something you just find, it's something you build. It's not something you just randomly find, it's something you have to build. And we'll see how we can go about that in today's class. So peace isn't the absence. What peace really is, peace as a structure. So peace isn't really the absence of trouble. It's the presence of order. So everywhere may be chaotic, but there's an order. And so I don't know if you remember when we talked about the nervous system and the reset. Like everything is chaotic around you, but you're settled on your inside. That's what peace is. It's not the absence of. It's not the absence of troubles. It's not the absence of disorder. It's not the absence of that. It's not the absence of war. It's not the absence of your kids are talking back at you, or your kids are all nice and good. You know what we mean. It's the presence of order. It's when your life begins to echo your values. It's emotional organization, knowing what belongs where. Emotional organization, when you know what belongs where and where belongs where. Okay, thank you, Ayo. And hello, Esther. Thank you so much for joining. It's emotional organization, knowing what belongs where. Think of peace like a house. You have the foundations, you have the walls, you have the roof. When something shakes, your finances, your children, your relationship, if your structure is strong, you might sway, but you won't collapse. So something happens, but because you have built a structure, peace as a structure, nothing makes you collapse. Nothing makes you, fall flat. The Bible says that if you fail in the day of adversity, your strength is small. So some of us realize that, when we face difficult times, when we face troubles, when we face, things that are supposed to shake us, sometimes, we just fall flat. That's because there was never any structure that held your life per se, the peace structure in your life per se. So when things happen, when chaos comes in, when commotion comes in, some people are so apt at I'm dead. They make. I'm not saying that these things should not rattle us, no, but I'm saying that when it comes, you may be shaking, but you're not collapsing. It's the collapsing that we are trying to avoid in this class. You're not just collapsing. You haven't collapsed all your systems, your structure, everything just collapses just because something shook your house, which is you as a person. So peace is also intelligence. So we're going to be seeing peace as intelligence. When your body keeps the score, when your mind is cluttered and your calendar is jammed, the nervous system interprets that as danger. So sometimes you're not anxious because something is wrong. You're anxious because your system has no rhythm. So let me give an example. I was reading an article yesterday and it made a lot of sense. So some people say they can't sleep, they can't rest at night. They have 600 tabs open, and that whole, they find it so hard. Some people just put their head on their pillow and they have gone. Some people, they will think and they will think and they will think, and then they stay there for a long time. They found out that they can't just sleep off. It's the absence of peace. So I was reading the article, and the article said, when you're going to bed and you've had your to-do list on your on a piece of paper, but you're at night, you just realize that, okay, I haven't done this. Your brain has not closed, in quote and unquote. So your brain is still saying there's something you haven't done, so it keeps you awake, it keeps you alert. So the person was advising, which I find very useful. So instead of saying I haven't finished this, for now I have closed it, let's close for you. Remember when I used to say close the kitchen, close the day? Don't just, I treat your life as an office. That's the thing. Close the day, end the day. then nobody expects you to finish all your office work in one day. It's the same way nobody expects you to finish all of your life in one day. So close the day, close those tabs, those mental tabs. This will help your nervous system to, calm down and know that, okay, we've closed for today, tomorrow we go again. But when you're there, you have open tab. Oh, I wanted to call a day today, I wanted to call Shikira today, I wanted to do this day, I wanted to go to the bank today, I wanted to do this. Your to-do list is so rammed, it's so packed, and you haven't found a way to just say, I have shut down, I have closed for today, these things can wait till tomorrow. Then you find out that at night there's this mental loop that hasn't been closed, and that mental loops is what, a lot of times it gives us that absence of peace, because we are not actually close the kitchen door. Yes, close it. Tell your children the kitchen is closed, even if they want water. Tell them kitchen is closed. Just give them a tiny cup. Let's put a tiny cup. Don't send me to the kitchen all the time. Have a closing time. Yes, and I mean it. It's very important for your own mental, your own sanity. Because if you're there, you're constantly giving, you're constantly pouring, you're constantly doing things, you would never ever find time to breathe. And that's also what causes collapse. And that's what also causes, peace to be absent, so that you can't sleep at night. You're thinking, you're counting sheep. It's 12 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock, you're still awake. And then you have to still wake up early. For a lot of us who have little kids, you still have to wake up early. And then you find out that your body is constantly stretched. Constantly. You've never really known what rest is. Close those mental tabs. Peace as intelligence teaches you what emotional organization teaches you what you need to matter, what needs to matter and what doesn't need to matter. It's not everything on your plate that needs to matter. Okay, fine. Call a day was on my list because a day has been on my mind, for instance, and I didn't call a day. Does it really matter to the extent that I'm going to lose sleep over it? You need to ask yourself certain questions like that. You need to ask yourself. So your body is constantly hyper vigilant. It's constantly not. It's not. There's no shutdown. I'm not saying shutdown as per shutdown, but you are resting. Your brain can think. You can end the day and end the day. It's fine. Any other thing that hasn't been done for that day hasn't been done. But when you sit down there and you're remunerating, you're always, thinking about it. You remove rest from yourself. Your body starts to feel anxious. Your nervous system starts to feel anxious. And when you don't feel calm, when you don't feel rested, when you don't feel at peace, that's when the yelling starts with the kids, the resentment starts with the husband, and everything just starts to play out. You don't even understand why. You're not angry per se. Those kids are so sweet. You don't actually need to be angry with them. But you would start to feel angry because you have never really found a way to mentally close your tabs. So at night, when everywhere is quiet, that's when the thoughts come. Oh, I didn't call a day. I didn't do this one. You now bring out your list. It might not even be a physical list. It might just be a mental list. I didn't do. Okay, tomorrow. Just end the day. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Because when you're constantly living in a place of no peace, you're training yourself, to be chaotic. You see, there's nobody that can create from chaos. Even when the Bible said, let there be light, and God wanted to create, what did he do first? He said that the Spirit of God was hovering. He hovered over the darkness. He first of all had to hover, and then he had to, set things right, and he had to call in light. No, you can't create in chaos. So I hear you. You want to be a creator. You want to, you want to do things. You want to do a lot for your world. You have ideas, but you are never able to birth those ideas. And why are you not able to birth those ideas? It's the same brain. You don't have two brains. Is it that you're filling your brain with things that are causing chaos? Hello, Bumi. Thank you for joining. Is it that you're filling your brain with things that are causing you chaos, or you're filling your brain with, there's no two masters. As I'm sitting on this chair, anybody who wants to sit on this chair with me will have to tell me, except you want me to lap you, and I can't lap you. If you want to sit on the chair that I'm sitting on, you have to tell me to get up first, and you sit down. It's the same thing. These things that are that don't give us peace, these things that give us, put us on hypervigilance. They need to go first before we can now say, okay, yes, I can think well to create. So let me just go on. I'll ask you a question. When was the last time you gave your permission to believe that you were safe? Because constantly scanning, I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I know it is hard. Don't get me wrong, because you're usually the, you're usually the one keeping the family together in terms of calendar, what the kids wear, everything. I get it, but we're going to the part of this class is going to have to teach us how to put things, emotional organization. This thing belongs here and it stays here. I'm not going to be thinking about it all day. I'm not going to be in a constant state of frantic. I'm constantly frantic, and that's when the system breaks down. That's when peace as a system cannot be built, because your nervous system is constantly frantic. Let's go on. Peace as leadership. Peace is emotional governance. If you're saying, it's you saying, sorry, I will not outsource my calm. You lead yourself first. So, it's easy to just say, like I always say when I'm teaching my children, I say, no, you didn't make me angry. I got angry. I take responsibility for my getting angry. You didn't make me angry. So I teach them to use the same language. No, I'm not making you angry. You're choosing to be angry. So peace is a leadership skill. It's something that you're leading yourself. You're telling yourself that, okay, this person is not behaving in this significant person in my life is not behaving in the way that I want them to behave. But why will I allow their behavior to affect my behavior so much that I go into a state of chaos? You need to choose. Children are not behaving well. We need to choose. Okay, they are not, but am I going to allow the misbehavior? Am I going to allow, my significant other to behavior to also dictate how I behave? That's not governance. That's you being led by the things around you. And there's no mastery. There is no single mastery when you don't master your emotions. I've learned that. There's no mastery, because emotions are fickle. They are like roller coasters. They will take you up and take you down. And everything around you, see, when you get to a state where everything around you doesn't touch you like that, like you cannot put you in a state of, I just want to scream. I just want to shut down. I'm affected by everything. You can't do much. Your life cannot really amount to much. It's unfortunate, because the honest truth is that you cannot build anything credible with emotional non-mastery. If there's a word like that, you have to be you have to master those emotions. You don't want to show up for something. You don't want to go to the gym. There's nothing. See, I was reading both Hussein's, he was talking to a group of people, and he was saying, oh, people just say that I run fast. People just say that I'm very fast, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, world record, he's a world winner, but they don't know the daily deaths that I die daily. The things that I have to go through to become a world winner. There's no world winner. There is none that has become a world winner just by wishing. There's a lot of daily death that has to happen. A lot of saying no to yourself. A lot of saying no to even how you feel, your own self. You're telling yourself, okay, you feel this way. Okay, I'm happy for you that you feel this way. But dude, we need to move. We need to keep running. We need to keep training. Emotional mastery is so key to having peace as a skill. Peace as to building an architect of peace. Sorry. You lead yourself first. You decide what gets access to your energy. It's your decision. You have to decide what gets access to your energy. What gets access to energy? Is this person's rambling? Am I going to allow it? In fact, even sometimes we outsource our energy. For instance, you go on the social media space and you just find out that you're outsourcing your energy. You don't even know that every moment you're there. It happens to me a lot, and I'm there and I'm like, wait, why am I so tired and so weak? You've outsourced your energy. People's voices, people's opinion, people's lifestyle. Some of these things are even lies. Some, like, people will say you don't even know which one is the lie and which one is true. It's just outsourcing that energy into other things. There's no mastery. That cannot help you. That cannot give us mastery. So when you outsource your energy, you outsource things. You need to know what needs your energy. You need to know the friends that need your energy. You need to know the conversations that need your energy. You need to know the company that needs your energy. Not every company should have access to your energy. Not as in company, not company as in people around you. Not everything should have access to your energy. Protect your energy, because your energy is your life. Protect your time, because your time is your life. So you need to be able to find a way to say, I am deciding this particular group of people, this particular messages, this particular type of thing would not have access to my energy. That's peace as leadership. You decide what peace honors your grace. When you decide, you can decide what pace, honors your grace. What pace? You decide if you want to move with this, on this level with certain things, or you want to you need to be able to decide. Peace as leadership. You build architecture of peace by deciding and what gives what has access to you. So we're going to be locating chaos now. Before we build peace, we have to locate chaos. I want you to think about these things. What has been disturbing my peace lately? Whether it's externally or internally. Please give me a minute. Whether it's externally or internally, ask yourself this question. Just think about it. What has been disturbing my peace lately? What's making me unsettled? What's making me lose sleep at night? What's making me always angry? What's making me bothered? What's making me stressed? What are the things that is making me stressed? What's disturbing my peace? I want you to be able to ask yourself another question. What habits or people quietly pull me back into chaos? When I meet these habits, or when I meet this chaos, when I meet with these people, or I do these things, how do I get pulled back? What are the things that pull me back into chaos? Ask yourself. Just reflect and ask yourself. It's not for judgment. Like I always say, these things are not for judgment. These things are for data. Because if you're not aware what's stealing your peace, how then do you make it right? Where in my body do I feel tension when peace leaves? Where do I feel tension? Is it my face? Is it my feet? Is it my shoulders? Am I constantly tensed? Ask yourself this question. Who or what gets access to my peace without earning it? I think that's a very important question. Some people just pick up their phone and they're bored, and it's you that they call. Okay. They get access to your peace. They've never really earned it. They just pick up their phone and you are the next point of contact. Why? You know that when you finish that conversation, you are unsettled, but you stay in that conversation. It's your life, or it's your time. It's your energy. It's the same energy that would have been used. So energy that could have been used to create, energy that would have been used to grow, energy that would have been used to do something tangible, now becomes energy that you have given to somebody else for free. Your energy is what you would use to build the life that you want. Audit that energy. Ask yourself, who am I giving my energy to? Who am I giving my energy to free of charge? I'm just giving them my best energy for the day. I wake up in the morning and I'm on my phone. I'm chatting. I'm texting. I'm on social media. I've given a random stranger on the internet my energy, my best energy for the day. Why? I've given a random content creator my best energy for the day. Why? My best energy. And then by the time I want to now use energy that I've given out, I now realize I don't have energy to have. So another day passes, and that promise to have read a chapter, a page a day, that promise to have worked out a day, that promise to have whatever it is you have promised to yourself, that promise that I have taken up to. What are the things we promise ourselves we'll do? To journal. We have given that energy out. We just give it out free. The same person that you're giving your energy to, if it's a content creator, for instance, has used her best energy to entertain you, you are giving your energy for free. Let's go on. So locate where this chaos comes in. Locate it. You cannot rebuild what you won't acknowledge. Awareness is the blueprint for peace. You cannot rebuild what you won't acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge that these leakings are happening, these leakages are happening, you won't be able to rebuild it. So if something is happening in your house, maybe there's a roof leak, and then they come into the house and they, oh, the structural design of this house was not great, and then we need to pull off everything and do it again. And maybe the owner of the house now says, no, 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 no. It was the best engineer that did this house. So you guys can say that. Just use plaster and plaster it. But the person is an expert. He has come in and said, oh no, we need to pull off all the roof, not plaster it. But say, let's patch it, let's patch it. Why are you patching your life? These patches that cause leakages all the time. Why are you patching your life? You need to be able to acknowledge it's not for judgment. It's for data that gives you, access to where can I see. As you get older, you don't really have much time. A time will come when you cannot work as much as you can. So it's best for you to every day audit these things. Today, ask yourself at the end of it every day, where did I give my best energy? Who did I give my best energy to? To what did I give my best energy? To whom did I give my best energy? What did I use the best energy of my day to do, to achieve? To what effect? Did I use it to grow? Did I use it to sow? Did I use it to, was it a leaking point? Let's go on. The 4 foundations of peace. If peace is a house, it rests on 4 foundations. So let's assume that, peace is a house and it rests on 4 foundations. When one weakens, the whole structure wobbles. So the first structure we're going to be looking at is your mind, clarity. Most chaos begins as mental clutter, unmade decisions, constant comparison, guilt loops. Do you know that when you are trying to, my kids, they're on midterm break. You know that when you're trying to make a decision, and you find out that you're not being able to make that decision as fast as you're not the type that can make decisions. You're constantly second guessing your decisions. You're constantly in that decision loop. It drains you. So people who are successful, I don't know how this is true, but people who are successful say things like, reduce the number of decisions you have to make a day. So instead of thinking about leaking energy in terms of, okay, what am I going to eat today? That's why people say do a meal plan. That's why if you're, fitness people will tell you do a meal plan. That's why they'll tell you work out at the same time of the day. That's why they tell you don't use the whole time to be thinking about what I'm going to wear. These are decision fatigues. They just cause fatigue. It becomes a mental clutter. So you've used 80%, the 80% of decisions you make a day are on things that you do every day. Automate it. Just say every Monday I wear white, every Tuesday I wear pink, every Thursday I wear. Instead, if that's a bother for you, if you spend 1-2 hours, you want to go somewhere with your friends, they call you out for girls' night, or they call you out for a meeting, or they call you out, and then you're using 2 hours to drain that energy. You're weakening the fabric of peace in your life. You're weakening it. So when they say this, when people talk about decision fatigue, it's something that can cause mental clutter. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, that's another way to weaken the peace in your life. That's another way to weaken the structure of peace in your life. What are you comparing yourself for? You guys were not born on the same day. Even if you came out from the same womb, you don't have the same path. And whatever it is that you do, whatever, close the door, please. Come, let her come in.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sure all of you understand. It's the kids, they have them. Even when you want to look serious, they're still your children. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you about that. Sorry about that, and thank you. Right. So the constant comparison, the guilt loops, constantly feeling guilty about things that have happened constantly feeling guilty about not being good enough for your children. These are the things that weaken your mind. You weaken the clarity in your mind. They weaken the clarity in it. They cause a mental clutter. Your mind needs order to perform. Your mind needs order to grow. Your mind needs order to, just be. I want you to reflect today. I want you to be able to reflect and say to yourself, I have to do everything. Thank you very much, Ayo. I have to do everything with, I will do what matters most. So change your mindset about, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, I will just do what matters most. So in your day, choose what matters most and stay with what matters most, so that you're not feeling guilty about things. Audit your day. Tell yourself, okay, if I don't do this one today, like, have a day that you just, if I don't do this one today, what will happen? If I don't wash the plate today, what will happen? So that you're not constantly in that loop. There's an open loop. Open loop that never closes. Those loops, when, like, okay, let's use your phone as an example. There's no internet, there's no good internet, for instance. You go to a place, there's no good internet, and then your phone keeps buffering, that round thing that keeps circling, it keeps buffering. Do you notice how much it drains your battery? It drains your battery really fast. So your phone is there looking for signal. It has picked signal from this building. Oh no, this signal is not good. It drops it. It picks signal from another building. It's constantly, you're in especially when you're in an area that the network is not great. Your phone is constantly seeking. Buffering. My YouTube is not working. It's just buffering. It drains the life of the battery, and that's what constant loops do to us. That's what constant loops, guilt loops, comparison loops, decision loops. Nothing is ever concluded. It's decisions that can be automated, decisions that can be structured, decisions that, what to wear, what to eat, very basic decisions. Start to take 2 hours of our day, start to take 3 hours of our day. You're using your best energy and it drains you. So you don't even understand that, why am I so tired? Why do I feel so agitated? Why do I feel so unpeaceful? Mental clutter. Mental clutter. The second one is your body and your regulation. Your body and your regulation. You can't live a peaceful life in an anxious body. You can't live a peaceful life in an anxious body. The body must learn the rhythm of calm. The body must learn the rhythm of calm. I told you one time that my own, one of the things I do when when I start to feel agitated is I have one particular song. Once I start to play that song, now it signals to my body that, Debbie, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. You need to breathe. So just leave everything you're doing, even if it's for 5 minutes, breathe. 2 minutes, 1 minute. But teaching your body to pause is such a blessing to your body. You need to teach. It's not like the body wants to lead. You are the leader. You are leading yourself. You're not leading, it's not, I'm not asking you to lead other people. You're leading yourself. So you're not tossed about by every feeling and everything that makes you feel somehow or not somehow. Oh, I don't feel like talking to them. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. You see, when you stop to live on the realm of feeling, you start to live truly, because your feelings are just, they take data from environment and try and feed it to you and tell you reasons you should feel that way. No, your mind, your body should be able to tell, this is what I need at this time, not how I feel. So you need to be able to tell yourself, to tell your body, when you're getting chaotic, have a signal that tells your body you need to calm down. Even if it's a breathing exercise, mindfulness, notice the skies, the beauty of the sky. Even if it's raining, notice the pitter patter of the rain. Notice how don't live life without noticing, without being present to yourself, without being present to the things that are around you, the invisible things that people will just walk past, waltz past. No, be mindful. Okay, this chicken came from a farm. The farmer must have fed. You know, when you're learning mindfulness, it's such a beautiful thing. Okay, the chicken came from a farm. The farmer must have, fed the chicken this. Oh, and even when they wanted to, how they wrapped it, you start thinking about the process. You're being mindful of even the things that are in front of you. You're mindful about the grass. The grass is green. Oh, this patch of grass is brown. Why is it brown? You teach your mind, you teach your body, let's calm down. Let's enjoy this nature. Let's enjoy the skies. You might not live in a place where there are trees and there are greenery, but the sky, there's nobody that can build house and cover the sky. Look at the sky and enjoy God's creation. Enjoy God's beauty. Signal to your body, hey, it is time for you to calm down. It is time for you to calm down. Even these topics, if I'm not shouting, because even me, I need to calm down. It's time for you to calm down. It's time. So you will teach your body my breathing exercise, mindfulness exercise, meditation, prayer, singing. When you're feeling agitated about something and you just burst into song, real song from the heart, you change there's a shift in your body that changes. There's a shift in your temperature, in your demeanor that changes. There's a shift. You burst out into songs, you play your best, coolest music, you start to sing. There's a shift. Your body signal is a signal to your body that okay, we need to pipe it down a bit, mate, and all that. The next one is your environment. You look around your home, your workspace, even your phone. Does your environment whisper peace or scream distraction? So you want to do 1 hour a day for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, for yourself, journaling, reading. Have you carved out that space I talked about in a few classes ago? Have you carved out that space that signals, this is my space? So I'm having an appointment with, Debbie, God, Debbie, and, the Holy Spirit. This is my space. How is that space? Is it cluttered? How is your home? Is it cluttered? Do you need to declutter? Do you need to throw away? I need to declutter because we have entered the new season, so I need to go and remove some of my clothes. But yes, I'm on it. But do you need to declutter your children's wardrobe? When you get into your children's wardrobe, they want to wear, the reason you're not able to tell your children to go and find something to wear is because they're so cluttered, they can't help it. They don't enjoy just picking up something. Now, do you need to even reduce the number of things that you have? Because you're even having decision fatigue from the things that you have, because too much to choose from. So you don't know whether to wear the white gele or the blue euro. Too much. Do you need to declutter your home? Do you need to declutter your kitchen? Do you need to declutter your wardrobe? Do you need to declutter your physical space? When you look at your environment, do you see peace, or does it scream distraction? Peace is sensory. It's not just, it's not just what you think. There's no war, there's peace in the world, peace to the world and all men, It's sensory. It has to do with your sight. It has to do with your sound, your scent. Have you bought nice air fresheners for your home? When you enter a home, and then there's some homes you enter, you can just feel the peace. You can feel at ease in it. But there's some places you go to, you're like, why is this place like Yaba Market, for God's sake? You can't sit down. You can't feel comfortable. You can't feel at ease. The sight, the sound, the scent, the space, these things matter. So you do an environmental, environment. Check your environment. Check your environment. What's one small thing you could remove this week that will make your space breathe again? I want you to reflect on that. And then the last one we're going to talk about is the protection, boundaries. Peace cannot coexist with blurred boundaries. Every yes outside your alignment is a no to your peace. So everybody just has access to you anyhow, at any time, in any place, for anything. Blurred boundaries is definitely going to impact on your peace. Any yes outside your alignment is a no to your peace. So people cannot just, waltz up to you. You need to be able to build an infrastructure, treat your life like, there's some people you will not do certain things to. So why do you allow it to be done to you? Start to think about these things. Where are my yeses so much? Where am I so accessible? Where am I so open? No border. Anybody can come in. Nobody needs a visa. Everybody can come in. Borderless state. You really need to sit down and ask yourself these questions. Where are these blood lines? Where are these blood lines? Boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. They define what is sacred. They define what is sacred. So it will define what is sacred to you. It will define what is sacred to you. So now this is me coming to an end. And I hope, don't worry, at the end of the 6 weeks I'll still have another journal. I had a journal for living beyond rediscovery series, and I said anybody who wanted it could message me, and one person did. I would have a journal for all this, where all these questions will be there. But I want us to close now and just come to a place of closure. Just come to a place of closure. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself, where am I leaking peace? Where is there a leakage in my life? Where am I so easily accessible? Where am I so easy to I'm just everybody's friend. Everybody, the whole town, the whole city. No boundaries, my space is cluttered. Ask yourself these questions. Be intentional about keeping your life as a rhythm. Protect your rhythm. Protect that rhythm of your life. Say in the morning, I'm not going to do XYZ, and protect that space. You see, you might not even be outsourcing your peace to someone else. You might not be outsourcing your peace to people who are close to you, or people who know you, or people who are around you. But you might be outsourcing your peace to the thing that are on your phone. You might be I'll be done in 10 minutes. Can you go? You might be outsourcing your peace to things that are on your phone. Sorry about that again. She's having a problem with boundaries right now. But that's it. Sorry about that. Right. So you might be outsourcing your peace to things on your phone. You might be outsourcing your peace even to news. You say you want to be abreast of what's going on in the world, but you've taken in so much news that you're now paralyzed. You've taken in so much social media that you're now paralyzed. You're afraid. You're afraid to do anything. You are constantly, watching over your shoulder. Where are you outsourcing your peace? Where are you outsourcing your peace? Where are you outsourcing your peace? So next week we're going to be looking at the currency of energy. And before then, I just want us to sit with these questions, sit with these things. There's no life, there's no great life without tracking. If you don't keep a track of your growth, if you don't reflect on the things that deflate you, if you don't sit down and journal. So today is all about, bringing all these things together. Journal these things. Tell yourself, be truthful to yourself. Don't be angry from the answers that come up. The answers that come up are if you're angry about it, then it means you should be doing something about it. So till I see you next week, let me go and attend to the chaos in the house. I'll do it peacefully. I'm really grateful for your time. Thank you so much for joining me on a Friday live. By next week, the kids will be back to school, so I won't have all these interruptions. But yeah, they are kids and we love them, right? And thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with me on a Friday. I don't take your time for granted. Until we see next week to have the currency of energy. Take good care of yourself. And hey, mamas, let's start living. Thank you.